going on, trading card game players? Figs here with Figs for you guys a Phantom Knight Goblin Adventure deck profile. So I wanted to go ahead and showcase for you guys a gimmicky Phantom Knight deck that I've been playing for fun. It's again gimmicky, but it is very fun. It's not the worst as far as consistency, but it definitely does have some bricks that could potentially ruin your day, so to speak. But again, it's not meant to be super competitive, but it is very fun. I do enjoy playing it because it does have a different angle to it and also gives you different options. I mean, the options aren't crazy. It doesn't include Horus. So, if you're not interested in getting the Horus stuff, the Goblin stuff you can kind of splash in and you'll see it's not a very big engine, but it's just meant to utilize our level 3s and to gain some extra advantage when trying to do certain combos. But yeah, I'll go ahead and showcase it for you guys, and then I'll also go ahead and provide you guys with a combo video. So we'll get right into it. Alrighty, so as usual, we'll go ahead and start with the Phantom Knight cards. So we'll go ahead and start with the Torrent Scales. We've got 3 boots, 2 cloak, 1 gloves. Obviously very standard. I cut the traps down to 3 searchables just because, we were fitting in other engines, so we want to make sure we have room for other stuff. Also, I decided to go with the 2 different traps because we want to have access to level 3s primarily. So in the event, we're running short on 3s, Shade just wasn't the answer. So we wanted to go ahead and, have access to our traps to revive guys. But generally, I would try to stick to 4. But of course, like I said, with this list, we are doing it a little bit more gimmicky. So, less options. 2 right, still the same. Faithful Adventure, Dracoback, 3 Water Enchantress, and our 1 Griffin Rider. Ideally the same. We're still being able to utilize this engine since we're not focusing on a normal summon. But the 2 right is still fine. I mean, again, it's searchable, obviously, with Cherubini. And we're also playing another card that lets us get access to it as well. So we're playing 1 Goblin Biker, 1 Clatter, 1 Boom, 3 Entrance, and then the 1 Bash. So this is, like I said, a very small Goblin engine. We primarily just wanted to focus on having this engine so that we can make our XYZ, have the additional summon, and it's mainly for this. So ideally what we want to see is, since we have 6 different Goblin cards, we want to basically see 1 in our opening or this, which is fine, so 7. By seeing 1 of any of these, it allows us to do our combo with the Grand Bash to basically lock our opponent out of playing the game, because we are actually abusing transaction rollback with this. But I chose these ones for specific reasons that I can get into the combo more or less. But this is obviously the starter, this is the extender, and this is the extender, more or less. So only 1 of each is needed. You don't need to play more because then they're hard to pretty much start playing the game with, because they're just additional normal summons unless you force yourself into an XYZ. And then, as I said, we're doing transaction rollback, and we're doing the Mayakashi trap. So we're basically, stopping our opponent from playing the game. Then we have our 2 Speedroid Terratops and our Taki Tomborg. Still one of the best extenders in my opinion with the deck. Then we've got a Wielder and a Tracker. So I wanted to include additional level 3 extenders just because of the fact that we are playing more normal summons. Like I said, the Goblin stuff is not really great in terms of being able to extend, just because of the fact that a lot of their abilities require you to have XYZs in order to really utilize them, and your combo into Bardiche is not usually going into an XYZ. So especially if you're on turn 1. So yeah, I think extenders were definitely needed, and it worked out perfectly fine. Then we have our board breakers, 3 Nib, 3 Droplet, 3 Talents. Decided to just go on the full spread with 3/3/3 because they're high impact. Nib can stop a board, Droplet can deal with a board, and Tactics allows you to have something going first or second. Main deck is 43. We went a little higher because, like I said, we do have a couple additional bricks as well as normal summons. I mean, these are basically replaced by the Horus monsters, so like the Happy and the other one, I forgot his name. But yeah, they pretty much replace bricks, and then if you look at it, it's just like the Amsetis and the Gold Sarcophagus, and then you've got like 1 random. So that's why it's like 43. Normally I play the deck at 42, so that's why we're kind of 1 over. Let's go ahead and get into the extra deck. So we've got our SP Little Knight, obviously standard for just about every deck right now. Bardiche, best guy in the deck. Dark Charmer, Cherubini, the other best guy in the deck, and then IP Masquereno, our main end board monster to go into SP. Then we've got the Biker Big Gabanga. He's obviously, like I said, used to pretty much enable your combo for being able to do the lock. And then, he's actually pretty good because when you're actually playing into a board, he's a 21k body that makes your Arc Rebellion bigger. And I'll show you how you can pretty much have the ability to kind of go both ways with it. We are playing the 1 Leviair just because we wanted the ability to have access to some type of recursion. Also, since again we are playing the goblin stuff, we wanted to have access to something that we can use to extend. So you pretty much like make this, bring back a guy, and then you can like use the other material for a goblin monster if you have one in hand, or a spell to search one. So it lets you kind of keep playing. And then also, you know, it's just a great way to go into SP Little Knight. 2 break sword, obviously very standard. Then we have our Raiders Knight into Ark Rebellion, pretty much our OTK line. I don't think I'll ever take it out. It's just too good, honestly. And then we have Downard Zeus. I went with Downard Zeus because I want, again, we have additional XYZs. And then, of course, with this deck, being able to actually board wipe and then setting up the combo is really nice because you're like clearing the board and then you're pretty much locking your opponent out of playing the game. We play Evil Swarm Nightmare because you are actually able to do IP and Evil Swarm Nightmare if you're not able to get to Adventure. So it's nice to have access to. And then our Beatrice. So this is what pretty much allows us to be able to lock our opponent out of playing the game. Then we'll go ahead and get into the side. So I did 1 call by, obviously for going first to ensure we resolve the combo. Tactics, another going first card so that we can grab our talents if we get nibbed, or able to grab as well Dimensional Barrier. Because again, it's another strong card in the format right now. It hurts a lot of decks. We also do the tactics with the Lightning Storm, Harpies, and then we have our Bestials. So we're playing Bestials just because my locals has a lot of branded and then voiceless as well. So this is really good into those. 3 Cosmic and then the 3 Judgment. So we did 3 Judgment just so that we had our combo pretty much locked out. So yeah, we want to basically see this combo out our opponent and then they just can't play the game. So that's it for the side. I mean, again, the side is more specific to my locals, so obviously it changes based on whatever your local scene looks like. But yeah, that's it for the deck. Let's go ahead and get into the combos so that way I can show you guys how we're going about doing it. All right, so we're going to go ahead and shuffle this up. We'll see what we get here and see if I can pull this combo off. Hopefully we have enough for all 3 Goblin, Adventure, and PK Engine. One, 2, 3, 4, 5. Every brick. Not cute. And that's why I said sometimes it would be a bad thing. Yeah, it's pretty crazy. That nib was gonna go hard because that was the only thing we had. But yeah, we'll try that again. That's why I said it could definitely happen. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. All right, so we can play this normal specials. I think these 2. Cherubini effect. Then we'll do cloak effects. Grab this. Summon effects. Pitch this. Send a wing. Wing effects. Target to summon. Banish, banish. Bardiche. Bardiche effects. Set Fog Blade. Send a boots. Then we'll go ahead and banish to send the other Fog Blade. And this is why it's nice to have 4, because otherwise our effects at that point would just get rough. So we'll overlay these 2 for Gabanga. Gabanga effect on summons. Gonna let me search for a monster. So we're gonna go ahead and add the charger. And then we can activate entrance. Well, actually, we'll wait on activating the entrance. So, because we're going to use the second effect. So we'll get rid of this for this. Effect is search. We will grab bash. And since we didn't use our right engine, we're going to try to utilize that. So we're going to get rid of these. Oh, I'm sorry. No. We'll activate. Yeah, maybe do get rid of these. I was thinking that correctly. Into IP. Activate entrance, because we're going to get an additional normal. So we'll have Exploder. normal effects, grab this, overlay these two, making them level 6s. For Beatrice effect, send transaction rollback, set one droplet, and then pass. And then we would be able to then use Beatrice to send the Manakashi trap. But ideally, I think I would probably end up still playing the Shade Brigandine because that's the one way of being able to bridge into Bardiche without actually having to use one of your traps or a level 3, which will actually give you an extra body. So I'd probably end up using the Shade Brigandine, but yeah, I mean, I like this. Like I said, it's fun being able to just try to lock your opponent out of playing the game. And worst case, if you're not, I mean, you still have 4 interruptions between this, SP and SP second effect. So you do have some interruption with what you're searching. And these are inherent. This is just obviously what you drew, but it could have been a nib or anything else. So yeah, definitely not bad. The other way of doing it when you're playing into a board is that when you go to make your level 3, so when we're at this point and you have the Bardiche, you're actually able to, like, when you have your 2 level 3s, you overlay them. Let's say this is like the only thing on your board. You overlay them for this. This searches the spell. You activate this, or I'm sorry, this searches the monster. You activate by detaching. Spell, activate the spell. We can just combine these because we're not really using them. To get this one, because he summons from hand or grave. So he's another free body. So then you would use this effect, detach to grab, or to summon. Because the other one's to detach one, either field. If you do, switch summon level 4 from your hand. So it gives you a free summon. Overlay these two for Raiders Knight. Or I'm sorry, or big sword. Effect to pop. This will die. You will bring back 2. These 2, overlay these 2 for Raiders Knight. And then Raiders Knight into Arc Rebellion. So it gives you like an extra 2,000 or 2,100. So let's say in the event, you're playing into a board and you dropleted and, they had a 2,000 attack monster. I mean, that becomes game if it's halved because they'll be at 1,000. This is 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And then he gains their attack. So he'd be 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 minus 1,000 is 81. So it'd be exactly game. But yeah, that's the idea, is that it gives you that extra 2,000. Even if you have the Water Enchantress, like, I think the strength of this is that if you're opening up Water Enchantress or Right, you have that added protection. So I think it might be important to maybe change it a little bit. I mean, you could always do no Tracker and Wielder and do the 3rd Right and the Shade Brigandine, just to kind of give you that extension or additional bodies. But I've been playing it like this and it's been fine. I mean, I haven't really bricked like the hand you saw earlier. I don't really brick that much. I mean, or much at all, especially when I was playing this. And so that's why I liked it exactly as it was. Because sometimes if you just seen this, like, this was enough to pretty much just like do everything for you. But yeah, I definitely do like it. Hope you guys enjoy the combo. And yeah, if you have any opinions, takes, your transformations, your formulas, go ahead and throw them in the comment section below as always, so we can go ahead and discuss them and talk about them. But yeah, hopefully you guys enjoy the deck profile as well as the combo video. Of course, like and subscribe as always, and I'll see you guys in the next one.